Welcome to part 2 of this video series where we discuss the main menu and the toolbars. So turning now to the toolbars and the menu, if you remember at the beginning of the video, we activated the toolbars and the object list and the page list by going under the view menu at the top and selecting those items. Well, there's a second way to turn on and off the toolbars, and that's simply by putting your mouse over top of any of the toolbars and right-clicking. And you'll get a little pop-up list showing all of the toolbars, and you can just select them on and off and they will disappear. So that's the second way of activating the toolbars. Now you'll also remember at the beginning I got you to enable the status bar. The status bar, that's this item down here right at the bottom of the interface. It's handy for new users to help learn what all the functions in a toolbar are, or in the menu system. Simply, when you place your mouse over top of an item in a toolbar, it'll give you the description of what that item does when you click it. So it's a great way for new users that are unfamiliar with all these icons to figure out what exactly they're about to click on. So with all three toolbars open and all the icons, all the dozens of icons all around the interface like this, it could seem pretty confusing and intimidating to a new user trying to figure out, well, where is this function I'm looking for, and what are all these icons? What do they do? Well, it doesn't have to be confusing. I'll tell you why. If we take a look at the main menu, or the main toolbar up at the top here, you see it starts off with a new icon, a new from template, an open, a save, copy, paste, undo, redo functions. Well, these can easily be found under the file menu right up at the top. Here's our new from template, open, save, save as, and as well under the edit menu, undo, redo, copy, paste. So basically, almost everything in these toolbars, all three toolbars, is readily accessible from the main menu. So if you find it confusing, to start with, just close the toolbars down and just work from the main menu. You'll find everything you need. I'm going to continue on through the toolbars. So the next icon beside the undo redo was project settings. Well, you can find that under the project menu right up at the top. Beside it we have the object list and page list toggle. Well, we've already seen that that's under the view menu. And beside it we have quick objects, we have a dimension tool and a zoom tool, which we'll be going through later, but you can access that as well through the view menu. And beside it we have the grid toggle. It turns the grid on and off the application area. And we have some effects that we can put on objects. We can flip an object horizontally, vertically. We can restore an image to its original size. So if you have an image on your application and you shrink it down, you grabbed an anchor and moved it, you can restore it back to its original size. And we have some bitmap color tweaking effects, so you can put some effects on your images, some color effects. And you have some pre-made objects here that MMB supplies. Now, if you go to find these in the main menu, you're going to think, well, I can't find them anywhere. But you can access them if you go through the Quick Objects tool and look in the object folder under the multimedia folder in the program files. And I'll show you that later when we go through that tool. But here you can add some back and next buttons, close button, CD audio controls, MP3 controls, lens flare effect, and so if you just click one, you get the close button. Here's our back and next buttons, that kind of thing. Here you have a bunch of pre-made balloon type objects, and you have some arrows here at the bottom. You have a sparkle, insert sparkle tool here, so you can make some sparkle effects on some text or on images. And then we get into our compiling options here, our functions. We have a check and distribute. You're done your application. You want to compile it to its executable. You just click that, and you get the project check project and compile output files. And you have a debugging function here, so you can debug your application, and you can have a test run of your application. You just click it, and it runs your application, and you get what your window would look like at runtime. And on the end of the toolbar here, we have the About button for Multimedia Builder, and this is where you would enter your registration code information for the MMB as well as the MP3 unlock code. And that's it for that toolbar. So drawing your attention over to the left hand side of the interface, we'll take a look at this toolbar, which is the object toolbar, and this is the pop-up version. MMB supplies you two versions of the same toolbar. They call it the Object Toolbar Simple, and that's this version of it up here. There's no difference. They're both the exact same. They hold the exact same objects. There's no new objects in one over the other. The only difference is that the simple version, all the objects are laid out for you, and in the pop-up version, it's just that they have a pop-up. They group related objects together under one icon. So if you see a little triangle in the corner of it, that tells you that there's other objects grouped with that one. So you can just drag out and select whatever object you want. So I'm not going to go over in great detail all the objects. I'll go through them and show you what they are, but I'm going to save the detailed explanation of the objects for another video series that I'm doing. It's called Objects Exposed. And so I'll just give you a brief overview of what the icons are, and we'll use the simple toolbar for our example. The first icon here is the arrow. That's the cursor, of course, for grabbing and selecting objects. Next to it, we have a simple text object. It's for adding text on your application. It can be enabled as